Hi folks, this is Karim of Right to Visualizer channel. Today we'll continue our lab, the COVID-19 lab. This is the video number 16. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been discussing that we need to make a total inventory for our network. So this network contains a lot of devices. For example, we have servers, we have workstations, we have switches, we have routers, okay. We have a lot of devices, okay, but in our scenario we have created two domain controllers, two workstations, so we need to make a total inventory hardware of this server. So we need to know, or to have an Excel sheet with how much RAMs and processors and hard disks and every piece in every server and every workstation. So we have used a PowerShell script to create a hardware inventory for our servers and our workstations, and to use this PowerShell script on all of the PCs in the domain, or to be able to access this PowerShell script from any PC in the domain. We have shared the folder that contains the PowerShell script, and we have give domain users full control over the folder, so they can be able to run the script, okay, and execute it. So we have done this process, okay, and you can use this PowerShell script manually. So you can go to every PC and run the script manually by yourself, or you can make a GPO and let it run this PowerShell script automatically on all of the PCs. For example, when the user logs in with his Active Directory user on the PC. So this can be done as an Active Directory login script, okay, or with any other ways, okay. So we have done this manually, we have run the PowerShell script manually, and then we have another kind of inventory. We have a file server, so I need to have an inventory of the folders on the file server, which groups in the Active Directory access these folders and what they can do, or the permissions. So we have another PowerShell script, we have run it to give us the all of the folders on the file server, and especially the shared ones, because no one will be able to access these folders on the file server unless they are shared, okay. And we get the folders and their share name and the permissions on them, and this is only the NTFS permissions, okay. So this is a script that will give us the shared folders on the file server and the NTFS permissions, okay, and the groups, of course, that have permission on the folder, okay, but NTFS. As for the SMB share permissions, there is another script that we will run to get the same data, the shared folders and the groups and the SMB share permissions, okay. So we have done this, and then we have a command called SVDE. This command will enable us to export every Active Directory object. So we can use this command to export anything from the Active Directory, and the other way around, you can import anything to the Active Directory using the same command. So we have exported all of the Active Directory objects using the CSVDE command, and it was a very detailed Excel sheet, or the exported Excel sheet contains a lot of details which we can use later to create different reports. But this is different than the Active Directory live reports that we have been talking in not the previous video, the one before, the one called Active Directory, or the video called Active Directory live reports. Active Directory live reports are instantly updated, or they are frequently updated. As for the report that will be exported, or the data that will be exported using the CSVDE, it is not updated. It is it's only at the time you use the command. So you need to run the command several times to get, or to update the data, okay. And then we have created another or used another PowerShell script to give us a report about the different Active Directory group policies, and when they were created and when they were modified. So these are also used using a PowerShell script. So we have used PowerShell scripts to do the following: to create total hardware inventory for the servers and the workstation, and to create total inventory of the shared folders and the groups that have access on these shared folders, and the permissions as NTFS and SMB. And then we have used a PowerShell script to get the group policy names and when they were modified and when they were created. And we also created a report, or exported all of the Active Directory objects using the csvde command. So in this video we'll prepare, or we are preparing ourselves to use a software called Dameware. Dameware tools, it is a software that you can install it on a PC, and from this PC it will be a centralized, so this is Dameware tools are a centralized tools that you can use to control and access all of the PCs in the domain. I mean by to access, to go to them or to remotely access them, something like the remote desktop connection, and to control the PCs. You can play in the registry of these PCs, you can access the hardware of these PCs remotely, you can access the hard disk of the PCs remotely, and we will see a lot of things the Dameware tools can do. It also contains a troubleshooting tools. You can troubleshoot something in the DNS, something in the connection between the PCs. It is a very useful tool, a centralized tool, and it is created by the company called SolarWinds. Just to make sure, you need to have the latest security patches or updates for this tool, because there was a recent hack happened to all of the SolarWinds products, so you need to be very careful when you use this tool. You need to be updated and to make sure that it is already, or this security hole was fixed by an update. So let's see what this Dameware tools will do. So let's see how it is already first installed. So here it is. We will right click and run to get, or I will get the source of this program from my laptop. So I will right click and run or access the share folder between my laptop and my workstation. So let's get it a little bit quicker here. So if you can go there. Okay, so here is the Dameware tools. Okay, I will get it from my primary or additional domain controller in my D partition, or my on my additional domain controller. I will copy the folder and begin installation of the program. Here first I will eject the Windows 10 LTSC DVD. I have left it from a previous video, so we will eject it, and then we will begin installation of the Dameware tools and begin exploring the different options in this program, which is a very useful one, and I used it in my domain. So I use it to access any PC in the domain, to make software inventory for all of the PCs in the domain, to access all of the hard disks in any PC in the domain, to play with the registry keys in any PC. You will see that it contains a lot of things. So let's wait and see what this software contains. So here we will just pause the video until the copy is finished, and then we will begin installation of the software, and then we'll begin seeing the different things this software offer us. Okay, so here we will just wait till next. Okay, and then begin installation of the software. It will ask for a license, of course. Next, and then we will begin installation of the program. We will accept the license agreement. Next. Okay, next. This is the location of the program to be installed, and to be in the startup, so it will start up with the machine when I log in at any time with any user. So here it will begin downloading some prerequisites. So there is some software to be installed before installing the program. I think it's C++, Visual Basic or something, or Visual C++ software or something, but it will, if you have an internet connection, it will go and download the prerequisites software, and then it will begin installation of the Dameware. So let's see what this program has to offer us. So I think this is the additional domain controller. I don't know why I am going to this virtual machine. Anyway, I don't need to go to and see it. So here I am validating, or it's validating the installation, and then we can pause the video. So here it's already finished. Then we will open the software. He needs your email address to complete the registration, so I will put my email address to continue. So it will not let you finish the installation unless you provide it with an email for registration. So I will pause the video and put my email address and get back to you. So here we will pause the video, and then we will open the software and see what is the basic. So sorry guys, here we will get it, so we comment here. Okay, so here this is the software. So this is the software, and then the first thing to see here that you will see that it has already seen the Active Directory. So the first thing you need to take care that is already discovered your Active Directory. You can see your Active Directory structure, and from here I can access all of my organizational units. So it is an alternative for the Active Directory console, Active Directory computers and users consoles in the Windows. And by the way, from here you can create users. So if I extend this one, I can here see my OUs, or I can see my computers, or I can see my users, and I can create from here users, or delete users, or delete computers. So I can do everything from here. So this is the first advantage of using a utility like this. Okay, so let's see. So for example, if I open computers, here I can see all of my computers in the domain. So this is a good thing. Here is the PCs and servers, and here he will give you something like an icon to differentiate them. So the PC is different, the icon of the PC is different than the icon of the domain controller. So here this is the domain controller, this is the icon, and this is a normal PC, and you can see that it is already appearing. So I think what I'm doing here anyway, so let's wait and see. Anyway, so here I have already installed, I think I have installed it on this PC, and I found it very slow, so I go there and install it on the other PC. So anyway, here we can see, let's discover. So we have first said that it will discover your domain as a whole, and you can do everything from the menu I have said, and then we can access one PC. So now we can this tool or this utility can see all of the PCs in the domain. So let's see what happens if we choose one of the PCs in the domain and see the different options inside it. So first of all, when you double click here, you can see that it will give you this is a PC. Okay, here it gives you the partitions on this PC. If you use the disk drives option, it gives you every partition. So here is the partition, here is the total disk drive or total space on this hard disk, or sorry, total space of this partition, and how much is free and how much is used, and the percentage, okay, of what the free percentage, and the free or the percentage of usage, and the percentage of free. So here we have 70 gigabyte free, okay, and we have a total of 93. So we have 75% free and 24% used. Here we have two partitions, and we have a C as a drive or as a DVD drive, and all of these are displayed here. You can display them in bytes. So this red icon is bytes, and this is megabyte, okay, and this is kilobyte, sorry, this is bytes, and this is kilobytes, and this is megabyte, and this is gigabyte. So these info are in megabytes. So it's in bytes. Okay, this is the byte, this is a kilobyte, this is a megabyte, this is a gigabyte. Okay, so this is bytes, this is kilobytes, this is megabytes, and this is gigabytes. So you can press here to get the space in gigabytes. So this is the first thing to have a look on it. This is the some info about the hard disk. Okay, so this is one, and I will show you all. It's not only this is also contains something here. So you can see from here that when you right click a partition, you can see that you can run PowerShell on it. Okay, so you can run PowerShell remotely from here, and you can open the partition from here. So this is also a good option, and you can see the properties of the partition from here, and you can add groups or you can control who can access this partition. All of these are done from this interface, and you can also enable BitLocker. So it is like it is similar, or it is very similar when to when you are it's very similar to when you are sitting physically on the machine. So you can do everything to the partition. You can turn on BitLocker, you can run PowerShell, you can open it and discover the contents of it, you can pin to quick access, you can give access to local groups on the partition, you can format it, so you can format the partition, you can copy the partition, you can do properties or see the properties of the partition, you can have disk details, so everything you can do from this menu. Okay, so this is one of and you can run open here as administrator, so you have a lot of things to do in this from this menu. And not only this, also you can tell him open. Here we can see that I can see the partition, I can see the partition from here, so I can access it. Okay, so I can access it here. Okay, another thing you need to take care of it, so when I open the event log, this is an option that will let you access the Windows event log, but you need when you need to have a certain username and password that have privileges on this machine. So first of all, you can tell the program, okay, so here a program, you can tell the program, okay, to use your domain admin account and set it as the default security credentials. So anything that you will do on this program, it will use the domain admin account, which has full privileges on the whole domain and the whole PCs and servers. So you need to provide a password. Okay, and he is a little bit intelligent, so he can tell you, do I need to use this logged in account? So for example, I'm logging in on this machine with my domain admin, so he can tell you, do you need to use your current credentials that you logged in to this machine, or provide another credentials? So we will provide the domain admin account and we'll let him set as a default security credentials. So this will give us full control on any PC, and we can see the different options without any hesitation. So here we will type patient0/Kerauf, and then we'll put the password and tell him to set it as it's default security credentials. So we tell him okay, and then after doing this, we will see the event log, okay, of this PC. So this is also another way to access the event logs remotely. So you don't need to go to the PC and get a remote desktop connection or access it using a remote desktop connection and then begin working or access after that the Windows event log. Here you can access it directly, and here you can export the logs. So here you can save the logs, you can delete from the logs, you can filter the logs, okay, you can open the folder that contains the logs. This is the properties of the log, so you can do a lot of things. So you can export the log remotely without having to have a remote desktop connection and access the PC and get the logs. So this is very, very useful, and you have all of the logs here. So you can see this is the hardware events, the Explorer, the key management, Microsoft. So you have a lot of event log categories. You have the application, you have the system, you have everything you need here. You can see it remotely. So this is also another option. So this is a very good thing to do. And then you can access the groups. What is this? It will give you a view of the local groups on this machine. So we all know that there is local groups. When you install the Windows, it creates a user called administrator, so you can be able to access and log into the Windows. This administrator user have full privileges on the PC, and it is a member of a group called administrators, local group called administrators, and this have complete and unrestricted access to the computer, not the domain. Okay, so it is my user created, or the user created automatically by the Windows and called admin or administrator. It is a member of this group. Okay, so if you put any user or create any user locally on this machine and put it in this group, it will have full access to the PC. So this is the local groups. So for example, if you need to add a user in a local group on a PC, you can do it from here. Okay, someone's telling me you can use a group policy to do this. Anyway, you can do both, but this is a very simple way to access. So if I right click this group and tell him I need to access it and make a user in it, he will give me this option. So you can do this. So you can create a user in the group. You can create a user in a group, and you can also create a local group if you like. So you can do anything on this PC. just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Just wait for a moment. Let's see if I am recording. Yes, I am. So here we can do anything. We can open the group, can create a user in the group. So this is also another option. And then here, let me I have passed an option here. This is called Intel AMT. Okay, this is an option that you can access the PC when it is powered off. So you have your PC in your production environment. Okay, it's powered off, but it is connected to the power source. You can use the Intel AMT to access or to power on the PC and work on it, but you need to have special configuration to be done. But this can be done also and controlled from here. And here, this is another option to see the open files. So it gives you an option, or it gives you an here's something, just a moment. It gives you what are the open files on this PC, the shared one, he means. Okay, and then we can see also the printers, all of the printers in this workstation. So this is also a good one, and you can access also the properties of any one of these printers. You can print a test page. Okay, so you can do anything. You can see the properties of any printer here. So this is also a good option. Okay, he gives you like full control. And then here is the process. So here it gives you like the task manager. This is, you can see the task manager from here. It is something like you are logged in physically to the machine and opening the task management. So here you can see all of the processes running on this machine. So this is also a very good one to see. For example, if there is a PC that it is having a lot of resources, okay, used. So for example, if you cannot access remotely because the machine is so slow, so you can use these processes to see what is going on, and you also can end the task. So you can work also from here and do a lot of things. Okay, I think you can end the task from here. So let's continue. So here, this is the processes, and then you can see also there is something called the properties. So here, this is something like an inventory. So here gives you some info about the PC. Here is the current local time, the current remote time, the time zone, the time, it is Egypt standard. So here you can read some info about the machine. For example, this is the time, and if you go to the version, for example, let's see also a very detailed one. I think you can export it. So here we can see there is an option, I think, to export. So you can save this info. So you can save this info. So here, for example, if we go one step further, so let's see here. So here you can get the time, and then you can get the version of the Windows. Sorry, a lot, and you can export these here. Just a moment. So here you can export this data. Here you can see this, the save file. You can export it. Okay, I think also it can be exported to different file types. So here you can see it gives you the version or the build of the Windows. So here it's 17763, the processor, the current version, the location of the Windows, the product, and the registered user, and the software, and the system root. So this is a lot of good info. Get it from the version. And then the system, it gives you a complete detail about the system, the BIOS date, everything. And also I think here it gives you here the RAM, the physical RAM, how much memory slots you have. I think also it can get the serial. So let me show you all. I think he can get the serial from here. So if we can go further down, here we can see that it gives you the platform. I think no asset tag, but it gives you a lot of info. It doesn't give you the serial, but I think we can get it from another place. So here there is a lot of info concerning the PC, the system, all of the system components, the processor, the RAM, how much RAM, how much a processor, the type of RAM, the type of processor. All of these are coming from here, and the version of the system and the time. And let's see also different info. So here we can see display. So here it gives you also information about the display card. So here it gives you the chip type, the company, the drivers, okay, the adapter, okay. So this is a lot of info you can use. Here we can see that it gives you a lot of info, the memory size if it is available, because this is a virtual, so it will not give you the memory size, so a lot of info. And also if you can go further, there is something called resources here also is a good info, and something called environment, a lot of data concerning the system, some system parameters, you can get it from here, and all of this is savable and you can export it. So this is also a very good thing to do. And then we can go to the network. There is also here some info concerning the network card and the network as a whole. So here you can see it gives you the domain that you are connected to, and some logged on users 5. So you can see here gives you that how much users are logged into the machine. I think maybe 5 times, not 5 users anyway, and maximum 20 users to log on this machine. So this is a lot of info you can use. So here we can see that, for example, that let me go there. Here we can see a lot of things. You can see here a lot of useful data and hot fixes. Here is the updates or the hot fixes, or the I think this is the updates on the machine. Okay, so here we can see that also we can get hot fixes. Okay, as update, there is an update, and there is security updates. Okay, so this is also very good info to know. I don't think if we can uninstall it from here, but maybe I didn't see this, or I didn't use this option before. And here we can search. You can search on the PC, anything on the PC concerning the users, the groups, anyway. And here you can send a message. This is something like an internal message to be sent. And here this is also a way you can see all of the services. Also there is Windows services on the machine. You can access it from here, and you can stop it, and you can restart it, and you can remove services from here. So here, for example, there is a lot of services. You can stop it and restart it from here. So this is a very good thing. You have full, obviously have like full control over the PC without logging in remotely to it, just opening the interface. Here we can see that there is sessions. So he tells you if there is any user remotely accessing. So here you can see that he's give you that SCADA off. This is a domain admin, and I am accessing remotely. Okay, or I'm accessing, or I have a connection to this PC. So this is who is sessions, or who is having a session to this PC. And we will also have something like shares. What is the shares on these virtual machine or this machine? So here, for example, if you open shares, so we open here, just a moment guys. Here we can see that this is the shares. If you have shares on this machine, it will give you the shares, the folder shares, and shut down. You can shut down the machine remotely. And this is the most important one. You can make a software inventory. So if you double click on it, it will give you the software installed on this machine, and you can export it. And this is some system tools. You can make some troubleshooting. You can get the event viewer, you can get the console, you can get the backup, you can make some Windows NT diagnostic tools. Sorry, these are all system tools. You can backup, you can see the disk, hard disk, you can see the event viewer, you can have a remote access admin. So these are system tools, and under it there is TCP utilities. You can ping and troubleshoot network problems from the tools here. Okay, so just a moment guys. So let's continue guys. Here we can see that there is a lot of tools. So you have system tools, you have shares. So here you can see the shares. Here will give you something like, let me have some explanation on this. So if you go again and go to the shares, what here you will see. So this is the tools or system tools, and then you can go to the shares. So here you can see that he gives you all of the shares on the machine, but actually he also give you the partitions. By the way, the partitions on any PC in the domain are shared and hidden. So all of the partitions on any PC that have joined the domain, or even locally, these partitions are shared, and the local admin or the domain admin can access it. So we can see $, and $, and admin $. So these are all, or these two specific, are partitions that are shared and hidden. The only one that can access them is the local admin of the machine, or the domain admin. Okay, And we have said why the domain admin, because a domain admin is a member of the local administrators group. Okay, so he can access these ones, and if there is any shared folder, you can see it from here, and the open shared folders, you can see it from here. Okay, so let's see, I think, or the open files anyway. So this is our TCP tools. You can ping and do a lot of things from these tools, and this is the software. You can double click on it, it will give you an inventory. Okay, so here you can see there is an inventory, and you can save it. Okay, and you can print it, and you can export it. So these are a lot of things to do. So you can, here what I do, I will print it to a PDF. So here I need to make an inventory of this PC, so I print it to a PDF printer on this machine. And by the way, when you install Windows, there is a printer by default called print to PDF. So if you print anything to this print to PDF, it will change it to a PDF, or it will create a PDF. Here you can see this is all the software installed on the machine, even included the Windows updates. So here you can make an inventory. So here we make an inventory of this machine and this machine and the two servers. So here I will print it. Here we can see we will print it as a PDF. So all of these are just a small portion of this software. For example, I didn't tell you, so let's, for example, save this software program first. Okay, so here we will save it as a PDF. This is the most used, or this is the most options I use. But here, for example, you can see the registry option. Here you can open the registry of this machine and play with it. So, and play with it. Okay, what is a registry? We need to have some look on this one. So let me show you all what is a registry. Just a moment. So here we can type what is Windows registry. So here we can see it is, what does it say? It says that it is a hierarchical database that stored low level setting for Microsoft operating system and for applications that operate to use the registry. Okay, so this is like playing with the configuration of the Windows operating system and some applications. So registry is like a database or hierarchical database that through it you can play with the different setting of the operating system and the application. So this is what we can do. We can play with any registry for any PC concerning any operating system. So you can play from here with everything you need on the machine. Okay, so this is also a good thing. And the remote command, you can open a remote command session to this PC, and the remote control, this is the one that we will frequently use to access this PC remotely. So we'll have a session and we will see the PC live, and I will show you all when we will do this, or when we will choose this one. Okay, as for the replication, I didn't use it. As for the schedule, I think you can have task schedules. You can create tasks from here. Okay, so anyway, let me continue. We will discuss this things later. And here we can see also that it will, when you click on users, it gives you the users on this machine, the local users, like the groups, the local groups. Here we can see that there is a lot of users. Here is the default domain, or this is the administrator account. It is renamed to care of by a group policy. This is the built-in administrator account, and I have created another user which is the second local administrator account. We can see it from here. From here we can create a user, we can reset password, we can enable account, we can do a lot of things from here. Okay, this is like you are physically on the machine. So this is also a good thing. And there is wake on LAN, we have said before. This is an option in the BIOS. You can wake this PC on LAN, so you can power it on through this option, something like Intel AMT. So you can use this utility to power on a machine even it is powered off, and the same for the wake on LAN. Okay, but you need to make sure that the power source or the machine is powered to a source. Okay, so this is a lot of things you need, or this is like a dream for any IT. You have a lot of things. So here you can see that these are the local accounts. You have an account managed by the system, you have the guest account, you have the administrator account, you have this user. So there is a lot of things. This is also a very good thing to have in a software. Just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Now we will continue exploring this software. So here we have a view on the local users on this machine, and we have said before there is a TCP. We can see here you can do everything. You can copy the user, you can delete the user, you can rename it, you can reset it, and this is the account policy. This is also a great feature. Here you can get the password policy for the domain. So here he tells you, for example, that the maximum password age, it is 90 days. So this is done through the group policy, okay, the group policy, okay, and we have at least 7 characters, and we have 13 password. He will remember it. So for example, you can put a password and use it for a certain time, until after that he will, you can use 13 password, and after this 13 password you need to change it because he will remember it. This is something called password history. And account lockout, here you can see that there is 6 lock accounts. So if you type the password for 6 consecutive times incorrect, he will lock the account, okay, and there is no reset account, so he will not reset the account and forever, okay. So here lockout duration, here it will not be unlocked unless the domain admin unlocks it. So this is all of very useful information. You can know it from here, okay. You can know all of the password policy from this one. So this is a very good option, okay. Actually it is marvelous. This program, it is contains a lot of info. So now we have a lot of things, we have everything. Let's see for example one on the server. So this is a workstation. Let's see when we connect to a server what is the info. We will see the same info, by the way, but let's see. For example, this is a location. Let's open the domain, and then we will open the computers. And I said, by the way, you can here see the organization units. Anyway, so I will connect to, I need to connect from this workstation to the domain remotely. So I will show you all how we can do this. We will open remote control, and then we will connect remotely. So here we will open it, and then tell him to connect remotely. Okay. So this is, we will show you all how we can do this, but to connect remotely we need to install an agent. So this software installs an agent so it can be able to connect to this workstation, okay. Here we can see that what I have done, I have here changed the disk from bytes to gigabytes. So here we can see that he gives me an indication. For example, this is the first domain controller, and these are the 2 partitions, and this is the partition or this is the type of format, and this is the total. It is a 58 gigabytes. We have 45 gigabyte free, so we have used 12. We have 77% free space and 22% used space. And by the way, you need to make a task, okay, because your servers are very critical. You need to have a monthly task. This is a best practice to see or to check your partitions on your servers to know if there is any space or there is no space left or not. So you need to have a scheduled task, monthly I prefer, to check the hard disk spaces on your servers, just to make sure that everything is working perfectly. So this is one of the things that you need to put in mind, okay. So now we need to connect to this server through the remote control. So we will do this, and this is the event log. Here also I have said that you can access the event log on the server from here. You can see all of the events from here. So this is a very good thing to do. Anyway, now we will begin to connect remotely. So here I will open it. So this is a very good thing. You can do typically everything you need without connecting remotely to the PC, okay. Do anything you need. So here we have many remote controls. So we'll use, this is a very frequently used option. So we will tell him to many control, and then I need to control or to access the server remotely. He will need to install. So here he will ask you to provide the credentials to access the server. So you need to have a username and the password that is authorized to access the server. So you will put my domain admin account, the password, the domain, okay. And I can tell him to remember the security credentials, but this is very critical. You don't need to check it. And to use my current login, I can use my current login credentials and do not provide anything from him. But if you have a different one, you can tell him it, okay. So if I tell him okay, now he will access because he used my current login credentials on this machine, which is the domain admin account, by the way. But I will provide the password and the username, and then we will connect to the server. Okay, so we'll put the username and password. Okay, this is the domain and the domain admin and the account. And then this is the domain, and then we will tell him to connect. So he needs to check first that he have an agent on this machine, so he will not be able to connect remotely unless there is an agent for the software on the machine. So he's connecting to the server, and then he will know automatically that there is no agent. So here he's telling you we need to install an agent. So here I need him to tell him install options. I need him to tell him to start the service. We need to this service to be automatically, so the agent will be able to communicate with the program through a service. This service should be opened automatically. Okay, so now we will tell him to install the agent and something called FIPS module. So we will have these two installed on the machine. It is basically the agent that will enable us to control and to access remotely on the machine. So we will do this. We will tell him to, we will not choose this one, okay, by the way, so I leave it to be automatically. Anyway, we will do this. Just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Now we will install the agent so we can be able to access the server remotely. So we'll copy it and then tell him okay. And here we can see some options, but anyway, don't use it frequently, so we will tell him okay and then okay. So now we have done all of this and tell him okay. He will begin installation of, he will begin copying the files of the agent, and then he will begin installation of the agent using your domain admin account. So if you give him a user that doesn't have rights on the machine, and this is the domain controller, it will not be able to install the service or the agent. So you have to install an agent and the service. And by the way, when you go to the Windows services, you will see a service installed concerning this program. And if this service is not running, the agent will not be able to work. So the agent is a program, and this program will run, or it will be controlled using a service in the Windows. So if this service is not running, the agent will not work and you will not be able to remotely access this machine. So now we will begin. Here we can see that now I can see the machine. So here this is Control Alt Delete. This is equivalent to Control Alt Delete. Okay. And then I can see I am just accessing the PC normally, just if I am in front of it. And now we will access the machine, and this is a lot of options. We can see it one by one. So this is to disconnect the agent, and this is to I think to make the screen more wider, and actually I don't use any of those. So here you can print this screen, or you can have a screenshot. Okay, this is one of them. This is the agent setting, and anyway, I don't use actually this one. I only use this one. Okay, so the rest I don't use them more often. So now I can access the server. Now I'm accessing the server, as you can see here, and these are chat. So you can have a chat. You open a chat session, and then you can disconnect. You can have full screen view. You can have Control Alt Delete. You can lock remote keyboard and mouse. You can view only, or you cannot interact with the machine. And then you can see the local cursor as a remote dot, and the remote cursor as, or you can see the remote mouse, okay, or the mouse of the remote PC. And these are all things you can play with, but anyway, I only use the screenshot. So you can use, you have a screenshot and then you can print, and the rest is we don't use frequently. So you can have a chat with the one sitting on the machine, so you can chat with it if you have a remote session solving a problem. So you can have a chat session, and you can have Control Alt Delete to access and to have a full screen, and to have a lot of things. So now I am accessing the server normally. Okay, so here just this is very normal. So you can see that I am accessing the PC normally as if I am sitting in front of it. Okay, so now we can see I have a lot of things, so I can do anything I need. So here I am ejecting a DVD, so I'm just here doing anything I need. Here I can send a message, but it is not working. So here I will begin making a software inventory. So here I will begin making software for the server. So here I am now making a server software. So here I am adding my software for the server, and I will save it and as a PDF. So okay, so this is it. We will save it. So I'll tell him to print. Okay, I'll print the this and save it as a PDF. So I will print, and then I will save the software on the server. So here I'll type the name of the server. Okay, BR whatsoever, BRCER RIHEM. This is the name of the server. And actually also best practice to make a software inventory every month. So you need to check all the software and make an inventory of it on all of your PCs in the domain. So for example, if a user have added software or an unauthorized software, you can see it from the software inventory. He is working with a portable program. By the way, some of the portable programs appear in the software inventory. And by the way, you can check, I think the software or the portable software puts itself in C program data. You can see it. So this is one also of the best practices. I think let me show you all here a little bit of an info. There are some users that work with portable software. So portable software, it can run and work without the admin rights. So let's show you all where you can get this data. So this is program data. Here you can see all of the some portable data work from here. So they put itself in the program data. You can check this monthly and see if there is any software or portable software in this location. So this is it. Let me continue. So we are making a software and printing it. Okay, so what here I am doing here, I am copying these two PDFs and put them directly. So here I am accessing the server from the tool. Right click and open the D partition on this server and put some files here. Like I am putting some PDFs here. So here this proves that you can see these files, okay, or put them without touching the server remotely. Okay, so now if we go to the server and check the D partition, we will see these things are there. So here we are shutting down the workstation. Okay, and then we will go and see it from here. Now I'm shutting down the server. So this is it. So this is in a Dameware in a nutshell. This is incredible software. You can use it and control every aspect of the PC. So hope this video was informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.